Hi, Dr. Z here with another health topic. I wanted to take this time to elaborate on our previous vlog done by Dr. Jess regarding hormone balance, but today I'm going to talk exclusively about estrogen. Like most things, it is all about balance. As Dr. Jess explained, there are various combinations that can cause estrogen to be dominant over its counterbalance hormone, progesterone. Often elevation in estrogen, whether truly high or high relative to low progesterone, can lead to unfavorable symptoms, both for men and women, and increase the risk for several cancers. There are also many good roles estrogens play in the body, so don't be too quick to demonize them either. What it really comes down to is how well are you detoxifying your estrogen. Estrogen detoxification is part of a three-phase pathway. Phases 1 and 2 take place in the liver, and phase 3 takes place in the digestive tract. It is critical to consider all phases of metabolism when trying to best metabolize and detoxify estrogen properly. By understanding each of these steps, I hope to bring more clarity regarding how estrogen detoxification occurs in the body. This is really important because, as I mentioned earlier, there can be an increased risk of certain cancers when estrogen is not being detoxified properly or is out of balance, as well as unfavorable symptoms that can occur. As I mentioned, the first phase of estrogen detoxification occurs in the liver. In this phase, a process called hydroxylation happens. Think of hydroxylation as a sweeping of the floor. In other words, it's super great to get all those crumbs off the floor and in one place, but until going further, you are left with a pile of crumbs that could potentially spread all out over the floor again. Your estrogen is like this because at this stage, we have various estrogen metabolites, but they can be highly reactive and need further care. Now we need to take care of these crumbs by putting them in the dustpan and mopping the floor. This is where the second phase of estrogen detoxification comes into play. In phase 2, which also takes place in the liver, the previous phase 1 metabolites are deactivated primarily through a process called methylation. In this scenario, an enzyme called COMT for short is helping to be our dustpan and mop up our crumbs so they can no longer remain on the floor. The phase turns previously reactive metabolites into water-soluble products that can now be excreted by the GI tract and kidneys. So what are you going to do with your crumbs and dust? Dump them in the trash, of course, and that is just what the body does. The liver dumps these products into bile, and they are now off to phase 3, which takes place in the gut. Finally, after all this cleaning, we are at phase 3. This important and critical last step is relying on a healthy gut to get these metabolites out of the body. When the gut isn't healthy, the estrogen that the liver worked so hard to package up doesn't leave in the stool the way it's supposed to. Just imagine if your trash can at home was overflowing and then you tried to put more trash in it. Lots of things you probably never wanted to see again might spill out. This can happen in the body with your estrogen. Having poor gut health can cause the estrogen to not be eliminated and actually recirculate in the blood, making the body do extra work to process it all over again. Researchers even did a study where radio-labeled estrogen was injected into women. This estrogen was expected to be found in their stool. However, 65% of it recirculated in the body instead of being eliminated. There is no one right way to treat the gut, but as naturopathic doctors, we have many tools in the kit to analyze if disruptions in phase 3 could be occurring and affecting estrogen metabolism. Some recommendations would include dietary interventions with a potential for adding supplements like prebiotics, probiotics, and calcium D-glucarate. Support for the first two processes, phase 1 and 2, in the liver include items like B vitamins, magnesium, choline, NAC or N-acetylcysteine, SAMe, and DIM, as well as foods like cruciferous veggies and berries. Finding out where your body might need the support is helpful to pick what supplements and foods will be most helpful for you and your estrogen dominance. As you can see, there are some crucial steps to detoxify estrogen and various reasons why it might be high on labs or why someone might be experiencing symptoms of estrogen dominance. If you're unsure if you have symptoms of estrogen dominance, be sure to check out that previous video that I mentioned in the beginning of this one, Dr. Jess's old blog about estrogen and progesterone balance. Until next time, be well.